Throughout history, people have searched for divine authority and guidance. The question of leadership within the church has sparked debates, yet the answer lies within the Bible itself. The role of the Pope, the leader of the Catholic Church, is not a mere human invention but a position established by Christ himself. The scriptural foundation for this leadership is strong, pointing directly to the necessity of a visible head for Christ's church. If you want to deepen your understanding of this truth, subscribe now and continue this enlightening journey. The word pope derives from the Greek word papas, meaning father. In ecclesiastical tradition, the title pope has been used for the Bishop of Rome as a sign of his spiritual fatherhood over the universal church. The concept of spiritual fatherhood is deeply biblical, as God himself is referred to as Father, Matthew 6 verse 9, and spiritual leaders, such as Abraham, are seen as fathers of faith, Romans 4 verse 16. The title Pope as a paternal figure aligns with biblical teachings, where the role of leadership often entails a fatherly guidance, care, and authority over God's people. In the Old Testament, the people of Israel were organized into 12 tribes under the leadership of patriarchs and later governed by kings and judges. These 12 tribes formed the foundation of God's chosen people and were a foreshadowing of the new covenant. However, after the Babylonian exile and the eventual destruction of the Davidic monarchy, Israel longed for the restoration of God's kingdom. Jesus Christ, as the fulfillment of the Old Testament prophecies, re-established this kingdom through his 12 apostles. Just as the 12 tribes formed the nation of Israel, Jesus selected 12 apostles to be the foundation of his church, the new Israel, Matthew 19 verse 28. This new spiritual kingdom was not defined by earthly boundaries but by the unity of believers under the authority of Christ and his appointed leaders. One of the most profound biblical proofs for the establishment of a singular leader in Christ's church is the parallel between Isaiah 22 verses 20 to 22 and Matthew 16 verses 17 to 19. Isaiah 22 verses 20 to 22. In that day I will summon my servant Eliakim son of Hilkiah. I will clothe him with your robe and fasten your sash around him, and hand your authority over to him. He will be a father to those who live in Jerusalem and to the people of Judah. I will place on his shoulder the key to the house of David. What he opens no one can shut, and what he shuts no one can open. This passage describes the authority given to Eliakim, who was appointed as the chief steward of King Hezekiah's household, a position of great power and responsibility. And also in Matthew 16 verses 17 to 19, Jesus replied, "Blessed are you, Simon son of Jonah, for this was not revealed to you by flesh and blood, but by my Father in heaven. And I tell you that you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church, and the gates of Hades will not overcome it. I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven. Whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven." In this passage, Jesus grants Peter the keys of the kingdom, mirroring the authority given to Eliakim. Just as Eliakim was a steward over David's kingdom, Peter is appointed as the steward over Christ's kingdom, the church. The phrase, "what he opens no one can shut," aligns with Peter's power to bind and loose, showing a clear continuity of divine authority from the Old Testament to the New Testament. Following Christ's ascension, Peter's role as the leader of the church is evident throughout the New Testament. 1. Peter speaks for the apostles. In Acts 1 verses 15 to 26, Peter takes the initiative in replacing Judas with Matthias, demonstrating his leadership role in maintaining the apostolic foundation of the church. 2. Pentecost preacher. In Acts 2, Peter delivers the first sermon at Pentecost, leading to the conversion of 3,000 souls. 3. Decision-making authority. In Acts 15, during the Council of Jerusalem, Peter delivers the decisive speech on the matter of Gentile conversion, setting doctrinal precedents. 4. Healing and miracles. Peter performs miracles in Christ's name, such as healing the lame man at the temple, Acts 3 verses 1 to 10, reinforcing his leadership in the church's mission. 5. Paul acknowledges Peter's primacy. In Galatians 1 verse 18, Paul refers to his visit to Peter, recognizing him as a leading authority among the apostles. Every kingdom, government, or organization requires a central figure to maintain unity and direction. In the Old Testament, Israel had Moses, Joshua, judges, and eventually kings to lead them. Likewise, Jesus, understanding human nature, established a structured leadership within his church. 1. Unity and consistency. Without a central leader, interpretations of doctrine could lead to divisions and conflicts, as seen in various Christian denominations today. 2. A visible head for a visible church. Christ, though spiritually present, left the church with a visible leader, Peter, to provide guidance and resolve disputes. 3. Succession and stability. The role of Peter did not end with his death but was passed on to his successors, the bishops of Rome, popes, ensuring continuity of leadership and teaching authority. The biblical and historical evidence strongly supports the role of the pope as established by Christ himself. The title pope as Father is rooted in biblical tradition. The 12 tribes of Israel prefigure the 12 apostles, with Jesus re-establishing God's kingdom through them. Isaiah 22 verses 20-22 and Matthew 16 verses 17-19 provide a clear scriptural basis for Peter's unique authority. His leadership in the early church demonstrates the necessity of a guiding figure to maintain unity, stability, and doctrinal integrity. Thus, the Pope, as the successor of Peter, is not a human invention but a divinely instituted office, ensuring the faithfulness of Christ's church through the ages. Subscribe now to continue exploring these rich biblical truths and grow deeper in faith.